Well, the computer wouldn't listen, so it's you guys and me alone. I want to start off by saying something I haven't spoken about in a very long time. AccuWeight Loss, which is now AccuLife, in my opinion, is one of the most incredible and healthy programs that I know. It is a lifelong program. It's healthy, it's livable, and it puts you in control. The factors involved in AccuWeight Loss, in AccuLife, are different in others in that it is truly a weight loss, weight less program. It's chemical and it embodies the factors that help us live and grow. I've been with personally AccuWeight Loss for over 25 years, being trained by Dr. Chu. In all of that time, and we've seen over 60,000 patients in all that period of time, I cannot remember one participant in the program who became ill because of the program. And we have promised a minimum of 15 pounds total health since the program began. And I want you to stop for a moment and think, how does a program that has existed for 25 years, made the same claim for 25 years, exist if the facts were not real? Number two, the topic today has to do with mindset and resistance. And I'm going to get to that in just a moment. But first, I have to talk about you. When you decided to become part of AccuWeight or AccuLife, our new name, our new brand, you recognized that if you continued to live the way you were living, it wouldn't work. You had to make a change. And that's part of the problem, because there's a negativity and a positivity attached with that, which I'm going to get to in just a moment. But first and foremost, you agreed that you had to make a change. And when you committed to that change, you were talking to yourself. And there was a part of you, as there is a part of all of us, that recognizes the power of food. Food is incredibly powerful. And weight loss, weighing less, is only an issue when you say, I want to weigh less. If that were not the issue, there is no discussion. Food is food. It's not positive, it's negative. You can't live without it. You have to have it. And that's it. So the key is the commitment that you agree to make. And that's what it is that we have to begin to talk about. Now, there are 3 phases here, and we're only going to talk about the first one and the emotional connection. The phase 1 is to lose it. And when it says it means you wish to weigh less. Now, once you've said, I want to weigh less, recognize you've already agreed that what you were doing doesn't help you weigh less, and therefore you had to do something differently. Whether that was fully conscious or not, it's the truth. I agree that if I'm going to weigh less, I can't behave the way I have been behaving all along. And I'm coming face to face with the power of food and how I relate to it, how I deal with it, and the recognition, and this is important, the recognition that if I use drugs, you can take the drugs away from me. If I use alcohol, you can take the alcohol away from me. You can't take food away from me. I'm stuck with it for the rest of my life. So how I deal with food, because food has no capacity on its own, how I deal with food is the critical ingredient. Okay? Now, I agree that I have to change. But let's focus and let's see what that means. And let's understand it's all in here. From when you were a baby, food and comfort became a powerful part of your life. And food, in its power, not only sustains you, but it gives you a sense of comfort and satisfaction. Well, let me tell you something. There are many activities that give me comfort and satisfaction. Some of those activities I do not have in my life because they could cause problems in my life or another person's life. For example, I had a scooter, and I'd love to run back and forth with that scooter. But I lived in the city. There were no open land, streets, roads, paths. And I gave up the scooter because just moving back and forth with it didn't give me any pleasure. So I gave it up. But I gave it up because it would be dangerous for others as well. Now, AccuLife is not dangerous. There is nothing in this program from a health point of view that is harmful. In fact, the opposite is true. It is an incredibly healthy program. And if you let yourself understand the chemistry of the program, then the rest will make sense. So let's start. Milk, fruits, vegetables, fat, protein, amino acids, enzymes, fructose. The 5 basic ingredients for total health. And if you take milk, fruits, and vegetables, you've got basic nutrition. Now, I want to weigh less. Now, normally speaking, in a traditional kind of weight loss program, you would cut the calories and the body would cannibalize itself. You'd burn muscle, you'd burn organ, you'd leach minerals from the bones. It'd impact on your metabolism. It would lower the weight set point. All of those things go with every program that is traditional. AccuWeight, AccuLife is different in that when the acupressure beads are massaged, they act upon your gland, the hypothalamus, and that gland controls satisfaction. So you become satisfied sooner. And it also blocks your brain from being able to count calories. It's as simple as that. Your body doesn't know that we took the calories away. Now, if I do this to you and you don't feel it, you're not going to say to me, stop it. And I keep doing this and you don't tell me to stop it. And I don't stop it because I like doing this. And you're not telling me to stop it, so I do it. AccuWeight is like that. I have taken your calories away, but because of the acupressure, your body doesn't realize it. It doesn't go into starvation mode to find calories by cannibalizing your body. Instead, your body realizes it's getting nutrition, and your liver turns to your body fat, converts body fat into glycogen, which is a form of sugar, and 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you're living off the energy that comes from the fat in your body. Not complicated, very simple. The program also has something that is a rage out there today, and almost anyone who knows anything about nutrition will tell you that intermittent fasting is extremely healthy. And guess what? The founders of this program in China 1,000 years ago, they didn't call it intermittent fasting. They said you eat between 12 and 6. Now, they didn't have the name for it. We now have a name. It's called intermittent fasting, and it's healthy. It's incredibly healthy. So let's now recognize the chemistry works, and that's why we're here. And if the chemistry works, let's not talk about the chemistry. Put it aside. I feel good when. Question number 1, why am I here? You've made a commitment to weigh less. And if you've made a commitment to weigh less, you have to change your behavior. So, we have a problem. I have to agree to give up, to not have, to do it differently. Because if I do not agree to give up, to not have, to do it differently, then I am not on any level going to achieve my goal. And my goal is to weigh less. Number 2, food is only a problem because I agreed to weigh less. If weighing less was not an issue, then eating food is not an issue. So because I want something, I want to weigh less, I have to recognize that I must change my behavior. But I have a problem. The problem is I miss having this, having this, having this, having this. I see other people munching away on something. And I say, oh, I wish I could have that. Honest statement. And I feel bad that I can't have it. Hold it. Did you say you want to weigh less? Did you say that you want to weigh less because that's something that you want? Now, we have the conflict, right? I could say on a positive level, that really would taste good, but hold it. If I have it, I'm never going to achieve my goal. And the longer I stay with my negative thoughts and don't recognize and accept that my thoughts are negative, then I'm never going to achieve my goal. So what is it that's going on? Now, I don't know about many of you, but I believe in something called the law of attraction. I believe that the universe is totally interconnected. I don't understand it, but what I do know, because it's occurred so many times in my life, that what I throw out goes into the universe and gets interconnected with me. So if I throw out negativity, negativity is going to attract me. If I throw out positivity, then I'm going to attract positivity. It's not deep. It's simple. You don't have to agree with me, but I operate on that presence. One of the kinds of things, and my daughter and I, for example, had a discussion. Here I am sitting before you, and I'm wearing a white coat. Now, the reason I'm wearing a white coat is to remind you that this is professional. This is Dr. Schwartz. He's here to teach you, to educate you, to give you information that you can decide whether you're going to use or not. The problem with people is that their thought process as developed over the years since they were a child tends to cloud how they behave. And let's understand something from when we start. The moment we commit to weight loss, one, we agree we have to change our behavior, but we also know when we achieve our goal on this program, everything comes back. So I'm not giving anything away forever. I'm only giving it away for now. And the reason for now is because I want to weigh less. Now, if you don't want to weigh less, what do you want? You can't have your cake and eat it on the program. You can have your cake and eat it when you've achieved your goal. So what are you doing? You're postponing having what it is you want for something else. What is the something else? I want to weigh loss. And if you want to weigh less, it has to be important enough for you. But, Doc, I got a problem. I've got all these thoughts, and I don't face them. I don't acknowledge them because my old habit, I call it resistance. Now, think about that. I resist. That means I don't want. What don't I want? Well, to begin with, you know what the real truth is? I don't want to give up anything. I want everything, but I also want weight loss. Now, is that realistic? Can you do just that? And the answer is no. I'm committed to change in my life. Now, I'm committed to change in my life. Let's add the extra piece. Temporarily. Very few of you, in talking with me, acknowledge the fact that this is not going to be a way of life. This is a methodology that's healthy, that is going to help me achieve the goal that I have chosen, and that is to weigh less. And I can't ignore that how I think and how I feel is going to affect what it is that I do. Now, since what I think and what I feel is critical, it's critical because it's going to affect the achievement of my goal, I have to acknowledge that I am committed to changing my behavior. Now, answer the question. If you do not change your behavior, will you achieve your goal? Now, if any of you can say yes, I'll give you the program for free. I do not have to change my behavior. I can do what I'm doing. Now, wait a minute. minimum 15 pounds every 30 days, and I'm rounding it off, in total health, losing only fat, not going into starvation mode. And since I'm only losing fat, the shape of my body is going to change, but I will not burn muscle, I will not burn organ, I will not leach minerals from the bones, and I will not impact on my metabolism. My metabolism will remain the same. And the only thing that will change, and that we deal with when we reach goal, and that is the weight set point. Now, these are important things to think about, because we're moving here into a head game. And it's a game that you play, and the best way to play a game is to know the rules, to follow the rules, and to recognize that the odds of success when you follow the rules are better than the odds when you make up your own rules. It causes problems. Now, the key here then is mental. If I see things in a negative kind of way, what will my ability to follow the rules, how will my ability to follow the rules impact on me? All of us hear that voice that says, I want. That voice is you. It's part of your personality. It began the moment conception occurred. It's called, and you've heard me say it before, it's called survival. You cannot survive without food. And you want to survive. Therefore, you and food are intrinsically connected, and you cannot be separated. Food must stay in your life. But, here comes the word, and in case any of you are not informed, but wipes out everything. I love you, but. Now, the moment I say but, do I love you? I want to go for a ride, but. Do I really want to go for a ride if the word but is there? So we have to take away the word but. Now, if I think negatively, how is that going to affect my behavior? I miss my strawberry shortcake. I miss my ice cream. I miss my alcohol. All real. And don't say that any of them are bad. I miss them, and when I'm on this program, I am required to put them aside. Now, don't tell me you didn't know that when you signed up. And I don't care what you sign up. In any program that is not cannibalistic, And when I mean cannibalistic, every traditional diet out there, you burn muscle, you burn organ, you leach minerals from the bones, it impacts on your metabolism. To me, that's cannibalistic. Our program, we are only going to lose fat, and we will not go into starvation mode. And the program is totally healthy. And anybody who wants to demonstrate to me that what I'm saying is false, I would love to meet with you. And I'd love you to show me anything that will prove on any level that AccuLife, the weight loss part of the program, any way you could show me that the program is unhealthy. And why can I say that? Just in my experience alone. The thousands of people who have done this program, and not everybody is happy with it, but no one can say to me it's unhealthy. No one can say to me who's done the rules that it doesn't work. Are there some exigencies? Yes, I'll give you one that occurred in the last few weeks. A person who's been on the program and is only losing 1.5 pounds a week. About 2 months ago, the person who is working with me said, Dr. Schwartz, do you think that the fact that I am on thyroid medication is a problem? Oh. Now, anyone who is knowledgeable about weight loss will tell you clearly that a thyroid problem will affect your weight. The person is taking thyroid medication. And over the years, we have learned that balance that occurs with taking that thyroid medication is critical to decent weight loss. Well, we've made a natural change that this person's physician had no problem with at all. It's a natural process. And guess what? Her weight loss has begun to stabilize. And it's going from 1.5 pounds a week, sometimes nothing, to close to 3 pounds every week. Is that an exigency? Of course it is. This is a machine. It has to be treated in a proper kind of way, and functioning by this machine, if handled properly, it's wonderful in doing what it does. Now, the issue of resistance, which is I'm agreeing to be restrained or I am restraining. Now, you've heard me say this before. You get up in the morning with you. If you don't like the you that you get up with in the morning, then you're living with someone whom you can't escape. On the other hand, if you retrain yourself and focus, you begin to get up in the morning with someone whom you like and like better. And the better you like yourself, wonderful changes occur in your life. Now, let's stop focusing on what I have to give up. And I'm going to use the example. This person is an alcoholic. In order to prevent the problem of alcoholism to affect that person, they must give up alcohol. Now, if you can give me an answer that's different, I do not have to give up alcohol. I can continue to drink alcohol, level of alcoholic, and it'll be fine. Now, you know darn well you have to give up alcohol. Who are you giving up alcohol for? Now, if you're giving it up for me, that's one thing. But if you're giving it up for yourself, then you've made yourself important enough to do something for yourself that is good for you. Do you want to? No, you don't, because you've been using alcohol as an escape. Now, what are you escaping from? And that's the issue that we are dealing with. You have to acknowledge your attitude, your behavior, and the word resistance, and say, I'm doing this. And remember, as compared to alcoholism or drug addiction, we cannot live without food. So we have to learn to live with food. And also, I want to teach you how to live with yourself. If you like the self that you get up with in the morning, much about your life that is going to change and be different. You know the stories I've told you. And, the one I love the best is that guy I told you about who said, Dr. Schwartz, my entire life has changed because I have made myself important enough to commit to losing the weight. And because that commitment made me like myself better and better because I was in control of me, my whole life is changing. And remember, he asked me the question, how could I be 350 plus pounds, lose 150 pounds, 200 pounds, be invisible at 350 pounds, and suddenly he's visible? What changed? He took control of his life. He began to take care of himself. He began to like the he that he woke up with in the morning. And people around him began to recognize that he was happier with himself than he had been in who knows how long. And that's what everybody wants. I want to be happy with me because I live with me. I go to sleep with me. I wake up with me. I dream with me. I do everything with me. And the more I like the me that I am, the more it radiates out into the real world. I saw that long time ago when I used to be invited to parties, and I'm not a particularly social person. And one of the things I always noticed, there were some people at the party who were most attractive, and everybody wanted to be close to them. They want to touch them, they want to speak to them, they want to connect with them because they hoped they could be like them. Those people exuded some appearance of confidence. And everybody wants that. Well, you can have it. Make yourself important enough to accept and understand that if you take control of your life is going to change. If you get up in the morning with a you that you like being with, it affects your entire life. And one other thing, and this is important, a lot of people ignore this. There are many people out there who have no understanding whatsoever of what AccuWeight, AccuLife is all about. No understanding at all. But this is important. I have an opinion. You have an opinion. So I have an opinion, and they have an opinion. And without any real understanding, their opinion is that you're foolish for doing AccuLife. And now they say to you, what are you doing? The moment you engage in conversation with them, you lost. Because they don't want to have conversation with you. They want you to accept they're right. And if they're right, you're wrong. And you're not going to change that because their job is to convince you by any means possible to come over to their side. Now, I think I've told you what I do. I meet many people who say that. You know, Dr. Schwartz, you're really foolish in believing that and you can really get sick and whatever else. And you know what I say? I say, thank you. It really feels good that you care enough of me. It really makes me feel good that you care enough about me to share your concerns. They have no place to go. I didn't agree with them. I didn't disagree with them. I didn't agree that they were right or they were wrong. They shared their opinion with me. I took it as a positive. Thank you for telling me you have concerns and you want me to be aware of the fact that you have concerns. You care about me. I ignore totally the fact that whatever their thoughts are irrelevant to me. And the reason they're irrelevant has nothing to do with me and my program. It has to do with them and what's going on in their head. Look what's going on out there. Should I wear masks? Shouldn't I wear masks? Are they good? Are they bad? Monoclonal antibodies you should take, you should not. Hydroxychloroquine you should take, you should not. Ivermectin you should take or you should not. Every day there's an opinion. and you'll pardon me, I don't want to be upsetting to anyone, but until there is herd immunity, and it seems to be getting better now, that's when the epidemic will become the way we handle the flu. Corona is not going away, but the way our bodies will learn to handle it depends on our connection with it and our attitude towards it. If your body doesn't have the ability to fight it, then you're at a point of concern. If your body is at a level where your body can fight it, then let's move on. Therefore, here's the key. Stop, accept the fact that you have to alter your behavior. Accept the fact that altering your behavior is going to make you uncomfortable. But you are making yourself uncomfortable because you recognize it's different than the way it was, and that you're doing it because you want to weigh less. And you want to weigh less in a healthy kind of way. And you also have to accept, and this is important, you have to accept the fact that it's temporary. This weight loss phase is temporary. You're only doing it for the period of time for you to get what you say you want. Now, I want to thank you for listening to me. And I want to move on to some questions that were submitted. And I don't understand. I have a comment from if anyone can tell me what VURFYI means, I would be happy. But whoever you are, hello. Questions. Can I use cottage cheese? The problem with cottage cheese is the fat. Okay? Now, I have a problem. The problem I have is anytime I say, for example, the best and only truly safe sweetener is some form of stevia. I personally use the Splenda Natural, not the yellow Splenda, the Splenda Natural, because the major component is stevia with erythritol, which takes away that aftertaste. Now, all other sweeteners impact in fooling the brain and are not as healthy. And some of these other sweeteners are truly unhealthy. Now, if I said, well, you could use a tiny little bit of sugar, you know what happens. Oh, he said I could use a little. Well, I'll use a little more. This is the nature of the human being. Therefore, stay away from cottage cheese. It's only a short period of time till you lost the weight, and everything will be fine. How much salt and pepper can I use? Well, as far as pepper, you can use as much as you use, as long as, from a physiological point of view, you don't spice yourself to the point where it's irritable. Salt is another issue. You can't live without salt. When you use salt, I recommend strongly, as strongly as I can, that you use either Celtic sea salt or Himalayan crystal salt, because they are salts that have all of the minerals in them. They're not made for commercial purposes, and they don't have a negative effect. And if you use salt or have a need for salt, the odds are very strong that you're dehydrated and or low in electrolytes. Can I save a fruit for my last meal at 5:45, or do I have to have my fruits earlier in the day? It's a wonderful question. First, understand you can eat between 12 and 6. How you take in the food is now psychological. When I do the program, and I do periodically for a week here or a week there of detox, I start at 12 and I have, and this is a vegetable day because we're talking about fruit, I start with a Granny Smith apple. And I use Granny Smiths because Dr. Chu indicated to me there was a special thing about what he called sour fruits in the sugar. And so the Granny Smith apple was helpful. I had one meal somewhere around 2, 3, and sometimes 5 to 6, depending upon the day. And the second fruit to fill me up in between, so I was having something. How you break up the 12 to 6 is up to you. I like to fill, and the reason I say that is the first time I did AccuWeight, I got the Walden Farms chocolate syrup, and I love chocolate milk. And I made 20 ounces of chocolate milk and put it in a thermos bottle and took the thermos bottle to work with me. I love chocolate milk. Came 12 o'clock, I opened the thermos, I filled the cap of the thermos with chocolate milk. Oh, it was absolutely delicious. Within 20 minutes, I had finished the 20 ounces of milk. I was mortified. Now I was done. I could have water. I could have 0 calorie to drink, but I was done with food. And so I learned to spread it out because psychologically I was getting something and it gave me control. The answer is do what's best for you. Stay within the 12 to 5. The program works. Now, it's an interesting one. Can I use liquid IV? Now, liquid IV is an electrolytic fluid. And my answer is no. And the reason my answer is no, and it's a terrific product. The reason my answer is no, it contains sugar and dextrose. And because it contains sugar and dextrose, and that's a big no-no, I'm sorry, it's a terrific product. The electrolytic combination in there is terrific. While on the program, don't use it. Any other time, absolutely, it's a terrific product. Can I make smoothies with my fruits and veggies on vegetable days? Now, this is a very interesting question. First, the answer is we have never said how you should handle your fruits and veggies. For me, the answer to that question is psychological. Now, first of all, if you're going to make smoothies, make sure that all of the ingredients in the smoothie are used, that the skins are not thrown away, etc. So therefore, you're getting everything. You're getting all of the nutrients. The problem I have with smoothies, and I've seen this so many times, is that you're giving up chewing. Chewing is very important psychologically. There's a level of satisfaction. Now, a smoothie now or then, absolutely no issues at all, depending upon what you put in the smoothie. Aside from that, be careful when you're giving up the chewing, because your level of satisfaction can be impaired by that. I want to thank you for sticking with me. 973-243-0777. 973-243-0777. That's a dedicated line. I'm the only one who answers. It's a machine as well. If I'm there, I will pick up. If I'm not there, a machine will answer, and you simply say, Doc, I'm so-and-so. Here is my number. I will call you. Or, Doc, I have a question for your next Facebook. Here is my question. Thank you for being there. See you soon.